Hey, 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 everybody. You know what time it is. It is time for Ask an Agent. Yes. And I just realized that my headband is kind of clashing with this background. But you know what? That's okay. Because you know what? We're going to make it work. And so today, I am super excited. It's been a few weeks since we came on, and we've got 2 lives going on this week. We've got tonight with my special guest, Lenore Pattillo, coming on tonight. And then we've got another live happening on Thursday night as well. So you all are in for a treat. I'm going to go ahead and bring my guests on. It says that we are adding her, and she will just pop up in a second.
Hey,
Hey,
made
welcome,
it.
welcome. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear. Yes.
And I hear you as well. I am super, super excited to have the one and only Lenore Pattillo on the line. Yes. So
Thank
look,
you. Thank
for
you.
people that don't know you, I have known this beautiful soul here, gosh, a good 7, 8, 9 years before either one of us
Yeah,
ever got into real estate. We were in network marketing together, and she was a
absolutely.
powerhouse then, okay? Was a powerhouse then. She had an awesome story, and I'm just so excited to have her on tonight. You know, I always tell you all, I have no problem sharing the stage with other agents because we learn from each other, we pull from each other, and she has been
Right.
one of those people that I have been watching in the wings grow and just really take this industry by storm. But Lenore, enough of me talking about your good praises. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your background? You have a phenomenal story of some adversity that you've been through and just how,
Right.
you got to this point.
Awesome. Yes. Well, before I get started on anything about myself, let me first give it up to you, because I watched you for years before I even thought about real estate. And yeah, we did know each other from network marketing. You were a team player then, you were doing your thing then, and just watch you take off. I see what you did for another firm, and congratulations to you. Your
Thank
one
you.
year anniversary of your
Yes.
own. That is so awesome to see that happening, especially for someone that I know personally.
Yeah.
So thank you for leading the way. Thank you for leading by example. Thank you for letting people like myself that's newer in the industry know that it is possible as long as you persevere, keep moving forward. And you know what? And I believe I can say this right here. I don't know who's on, but we keep God first. And when you keep
That's
God
right.
first, things just happen automatically.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
kudos to you. Kudos
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, well, just a little bit about myself. I am a mother of 3, and man, I decided to jump into real estate when I hit the ripe old age of 50. So imagine that I was been in the medical field now for over 20 plus years, military, army, and then like Nicole just said, we were both in network marketing. Kind of did network marketing and started that about 2010, 2011. Um, was successful in network marketing as well. And then it just kind of pushed me into real estate. I kind of partnered with a pastor out of Orlando, Florida, which Nicole will know. He was a powerhouse in our network marketing firm, and he just kind of encouraged me to, go into real estate. He was doing a lot of real estate investing, and one of the plans were to do investing here in Charlotte. And so that kind of got me on that path, not necessarily being a real estate agent, but more so investing. And I decided to look into doing real estate after I had not a bad experience, but I was uninformed. And I've just said one day, hey, I could do this. And he kind of said, yeah, you could. And it just started from there. And almost 3 years, it'll be 3 years in November of this year. I've been going full force. Kind of jumped in head first. Yes, jumped in head first. It was a challenge, but thank God I am still here. So yeah, here we are today.
Look, so it's funny you say that you jumped in head first and it was a challenge. So did you start out part-time at all, or were you full-time, full blast?
Yeah, I went straight in full time. Of course, once you go to network marketing and you taste that entrepreneur part of, not having a boss, it made it pretty easy to transition into that. Um, but I don't think a lot of people are really aware that it's not easy being a real estate agent. It is not easy. I can remember people complaining about a little platinum services each month. And then just
Right.
getting started in real estate was like, okay, this is a whole different avenue, a whole different avenue.
Yes, it is.
So I probably worked about maybe a couple of months part-time on a job just to have a little bit of income coming in until I could get my grounding under me. And of course, they tell you to make sure you have at least 6 months to a year saved up when you make that plunge to go full-time. And I was close to it. And so just kind of jumped in there head first. And hey, I'm still going strong.
I'm so glad too, because like I said, you were a powerhouse when we were in network marketing, and I have just loved watching you grow and become that same powerhouse. You were recently made the North Carolina, what is it, Housing Foundation Board of
Yeah.
Directors. Yes,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Thank
Kudos
you.
to you
Thank
on
you.
that.
Yeah, because that was one of my goals is to come in like and help people like myself, single moms. A lot of times we run into people who don't understand you can become a homeowner. And a lot of us weren't taught that. A lot of us have just kind of came up on renting and it becomes normal and you don't realize how much money you just kind of throwing away. And when I bought my first home, I was 23 years old. And back then I still didn't understand what I did. But now knowing that, here in North Carolina, and we're going to talk about this housing market, but it is a privilege to own your own home, and it can be done if you put the work into it, if you see the vision and the goal before you and you stay true to that. And so with the North Carolina Housing Foundation, that's one of the main goals is to help with affordable housing. And so I'm super excited about being a part of that. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm super excited to have you a part of it because, I have different goals and endeavors in my life. I just was voted vice president of my alumni association chapter here,
Wow.
and I'm on the Black Political Caucus as a member, and we're always in both of those avenues talking about affordable housing and
Yes,
how this market is really displacing people who look like us.
that's right.
And we want to make sure that we get the word out, we get the message out any way that we can, using whatever
Exactly.
platform that we can, that home
Exactly.
ownership can happen for you. And like you said, a lot of times it's a mindset thing.
Oh,
People are
yeah.
so used to renting. They're so used to,
Mhm.
oh, well, my bills is paid, I'm good. Oh, I can still go on this trip, I'm good. Not realizing, like you said, that they're
Yeah.
in the meantime steadily throwing money away. They're building someone else's
Someone else's.
portfolio instead of
That's
building
right.
their own
Their own.
portfolio.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, hey, kudos to you again. Like, this is what happens when you bring people together that can kind of feed off of each other and make a difference. It only starts with a few, and if we can take it from there, we can really grow with it.
We really can. So I want to get into some of our questions. Now, audience, y'all know how this works. You know, it's ask an agent, okay? So it doesn't really work if you all aren't asking us some questions. So feel free to put your questions in the chat box. But I had a few people that have sent me some questions that we'll go ahead and get started with. And I'll just say the question. You can tell your answer. I can tell my answer. And that's how we do things, because the one thing that I love is learning how someone else does it, because staying set in the same mode doesn't work for everybody. And when you deal with a lot of different clients, you got to be able to feed off of what it is that that client needs at that particular time. And
That's
so
right.
Ms. Lenore, this seller's market that we are in, and for those that don't know what a seller's market is, it's just the market where there are more buyers out there trying to purchase than there are homes to sell to those buyers. Thus, sellers are able to get whatever they want.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
When I got in the industry, I've been in, it'll be 9 years in November.
Oh my God.
9 years in November, licensed for 6 on July 28th. Licensed for 6. So, when I got in, we were doing foreclosures and short sales.
Right.
You can get foreclosure or a short sale like that. Now people will come to me and say, I only want a foreclosure. I only want a short sale. And I'm like, look, have you looked at the Hood Home Store? They got like 9 houses for the entire state. And the cheapest one is $369,000.
That's right. That's right.
We're not in that market. And so how do you help buyers or even sellers, okay, navigate in this seller's market?
Well, everybody has to, as far as being a buyer, let's start on there, because that's usually where most new agents start. All right. That's people, buyers that or people that because we all start off our sphere of influence, of course. And the easiest way to do that, so if you're a new agent, most likely that's where you'll start, is it with the buyers. Now, it's funny that you say that, because every buyer has a different personality. And I always say that as a real estate agent, you're not just an agent, but you're a counselor. You kind of jump into some of the lending aspect of it. You're a credit counselor, everything. You kind of—
Let's not forget therapist, unofficial therapist.
Oh my God.
Unofficial therapist.
Woo-wee, woo-wee. So it's important that you stay grounded so you can help your clients stay grounded. And the first thing I tell any buyer going into this market right now is that, again, you have to have your vision and your goals set before you. And you have to have a strong will and a dedication that you're going to get it done no matter what, right? So first, it comes with mindset. Making sure that when the no's come, because we're going to go through a few of those. Now, if you blessed and highly favored and you don't go through a no, then you are definitely special at this time. I've literally had one client, a brand new first-time home buyer. She was going to do down payment assistance. And I mean, we had to go through 8 offers before she got an offer accepted. So that's one of the things I tell my clients today, like, you got to be ready and make sure you're ready to go. You got to have your funds ready. You got to have your mindset ready. And you got to be okay that if you walk into a house and you love it, another 100 people love it too. And if you don't come all the way full force in on that, if you don't really, really want it, then don't put an offer in on it. But if you really want this house, then you got to go full force and you got to put your best offer out there. And then if you don't get that house, then that means that wasn't the house meant for you. Let's move on to the next one. Let's not lose sleep. Let's not lose a lot of thought process over it. Let's move to the next house. And that's one of the first things that I tell them. You have to have that mindset that no matter what comes your way, you're going to say, you know what, that's my vision, that's my goal. I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for myself. I am going to be a homeowner. And you have to have that mindset. So mindset is number one. Mindset is
Absolutely.
definitely number one.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you said that. I once had a client, you said you had your client had put in 8 offers. I had a client, we had done 11 offers, and the 12th offer got accepted. But 2 days before closing, we found out the sellers couldn't close because they were short $20,000 and did not know it ahead of time. So we did not close. Okay.
Jeez.
So we decided to try to do a short sale. And for those that don't know, a short sale is not short. It's long.
No, it's not.
It
It's
takes a
long.
long time. So
It can
some
be
4
really.
months after my client was supposed to originally close, she finally closed. But when I
Wow.
tell you, that girl, I said, and now you are resilient because anything that could have gone wrong in that transaction went wrong. And in my almost 10 years of being in this industry, I had never seen so many things go wrong in this transaction. I mean, everything from having to get a notary to take care of part of it, and then the notary gets turned away. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
it was too much. And then when I posted that this young lady closed, of course I didn't tell her personal business. We never
Right.
did. But when I posted that she
Right.
closed, a friend of hers said, hey, I saw that you helped so-and-so. I know if you can help so-and-so, you can help me. And I simply said, I don't know if you're willing to go through what so-and-so went through, okay?
Oh my
Because,
gosh.
and that's the thing about when you said, well, sometimes we make it look easy. People don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on in the background. There's over
Oh my
200
God.
different things that we as buyers agents do for a buyer, and you buyers only see 5 or 6 things. So you don't
That,
understand why our commission check is what it is, but you don't understand why we had to go through what we had to go through to get there.
can you preach tonight?
Don't get me started.
Woo,
Don't
because it
even get
looks
me started.
glamorous. It looks glamorous from afar.
From
It
afar.
really does. You have the mindset, oh yeah, I'll just go open the door, show a house, talk about it, and put the offer
Look
in, the
cute.
offer gets accepted. We go straight to closing, they get the keys, I get my check. Oh
I
no.
know. Over 200 separate
Yeah,
items have to be done.
absolutely. It is not that simple. It
It
is
is.
not that simple. Um, but yeah, so
Exactly. But like Lenore said, it starts with that mindset. You've got to have the mindset, not just for this market, for any market. You just
yeah,
have to have the fortitude to say, if it is to be, it is up to
it's
me.
gonna be,
Time and
yeah,
time again, Lenore, I'll tell you, I'll get clients that'll say, well, what God has for me is for me. And I
right.
am a firm believer. What God has for you is for you. But understand, honey, if you don't get in the game, you can't win.
That's
He
right.
ain't gonna
And you
hand you
gotta
a
come.
win.
And
He gonna
once
say,
you come in the
oh, you
game,
don't want what I have for you. Let me go ahead and give it to somebody else.
exactly. And once you come in the game, you gotta come correct, right?
You
You
can't come in
gotta
the game
come
with just
correct.
socks on. You need shoes.
You gotta come correct for sure.
Like, I remember years ago when I was just starting out, a young lady said that she wanted to offer $100 in due diligence and $100 in earnest money. And I told her, well, the seller isn't going to take you seriously. We typically do 1% of the purchase price. And at that time, now we're not
At
talking about
that
right now.
time.
We're talking about years ago, okay?
Yeah,
At
yeah,
that time, yeah, 1%
yeah.
of the purchase price. And so, needless to say, we went in multiple offers. Her offer was declined. But I'm an agent that will always ask the other agent for feedback. And not all agents will give you feedback, okay?
That's
Because
right.
they just will be bombarded with so many offers. It's just kind of impossible. I remember one time I asked, the lady said, well, we had 70 offers. Yours just didn't make it. So,
Wow.
but this particular time for this young lady, not the seller, the listing agent sent back, he said, hey, my seller felt your buyer wasn't serious.
Right.
$100 in earnest money and $100 in due diligence. I did cut, paste, send to the buyer,
Exactly.
okay?
Exactly.
Because I can't make this up. I am here to help you, okay? I'm not here
Right.
to lie to you. I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm here to help you get through the biggest transaction that you'll have of your life.
That's
Okay.
right.
And we're here to make it easy and smooth, but we're not doing this just for kicks, honey.
No,
We don't get paid to the end. So we're
exactly.
doing this to make sure you get in a house.
Exactly. Exactly. So it takes it right now, more so than when I first started, it takes a lot of money, right? So
So
I
stack
mean,
up.
it's you got
Get
to
your
stack
coins
up.
together.
You got to save up. You got to be ready. Um, a lot of people want to move to Charlotte now. And people who come from up north look at these house prices and be like, wow, you guys got it made down here. I work with a lot of out of state clients.
I do too.
And I never have to, once I explain that process of due diligence and earnest money, it's like, okay, perfect. Let me do what I got to do. It's almost like the people who live here in the city, they have more of a problem with it than someone coming from somewhere else. Even though they've never heard of it before, they understand that's just what they have to do. So I tell anybody here, you are competing with people who are coming from up north. And most of those people have sold houses. So they're ready to put lump
Lump
sums of
sum.
money down. And right now offering over asking with a lump sum of money down. So you have to be committed, have the right mindset, and then come correct with your funds.
And we're not telling you this to discourage you at all. We're telling you this
No,
to prepare you. Okay.
exactly. Exactly.
Knowledge is power.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And don't be scared, because if this is the house that you really want, if you really want this house, it is an investment. It is an investment. And that's why I think people lose sight, is that, oh, I'm just buying a house. You're not just buying a house. It is one of the biggest investments you could ever purchase. So if you want it, go for it.
And go correct.
Go
One
correct.
gentleman just put in his comments, great point. People don't have a problem overpaying when they just left an 800 square foot condo they paid 1.8 million for.
That's what I
Okay.
was trying to say. That's that's
We
what I was
couldn't have said
trying to
it better
say.
ourselves, son. Appreciate you
Exactly.
chiming in. Because
Thank
that is
you,
the truth.
sir.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
I was at a closing maybe a month ago, and the mortgage lender happened to attend the closing, and he said that a real estate agent friend of his in Virginia said that his people had offered 50,000 over list plot price, plus offered the seller 10,000 in cash to do with as they pleased, and they still lost.
Oh, geez.
That was in
Oh,
Richmond,
geez.
Virginia. What y'all doing up there?
Good gracious. That's crazy. That
So
is crazy.
sellers, we say all that to say we've got this long list of buyers here. We need your homes. Okay.
Yes,
We
we
need for you to
do.
go ahead and jump out there into the market. It will get multiple offers. It will get above list price. Okay. But
Yes.
sellers, what we want you to understand is when it does not appraise, think about being on the other side of that shoe. Okay. If it does not appraise, what would you have wanted done if you were the buyer? Because
That's
a lot of
true.
times these sellers are making these buyers waive the
The
appraisal
appraisal.
contingency.
Yeah,
And that's so unfortunate. There's too
that
many
is.
people out here struggling, trying to get homes, and you waiving appraisal contingencies.
Yeah, yeah. That is hard, especially when you have a buyer that showed you commitment, who's putting down $10,000 in due diligence, and know that if that appraisal doesn't come back in their price point, that they could possibly lose that 10,000. So when you have a buyer that has showed you that type of commitment, um, think about that. That's what we're finding right now. You don't have enough realtors having those type of conversations with
Right,
the sellers.
right.
And I wish
I agree.
more realtors would, because that seller then will become a buyer. I actually had a circumstance where a seller who we were putting an offer in on his home, he kind of like wrote out exactly what he was looking for in an offer. And he made a point once he finished it. He said, we have just went through the same thing you are going through right now. He says, so I feel like it's fair to the buyer if I write out exactly what I'm looking for, and that buyer can meet, if not everything, but most of what we're looking for, then we've got a great deal. And that would be the one we go with. I was telling my buyer that, I mean, it can't get any more
Right, it doesn't get
better
any better than that.
than
But
that.
that person understands, and most
Understand.
sellers don't understand. And we all we're
No,
trying to do is educate you in this process. Look, we all want to make money. We're not
that's
saying
right.
give your house away for pennies. That's not
No,
what we're saying. But we are saying be realistic when
yeah,
it comes to
yeah.
people who are offering $70,000-$80,000 over. You know it's not gonna praise. You know
Right.
it's not gonna appraise.
And
Okay?
they have to
Be
come up with that
realistic.
difference. Or they have to come up with that difference. So you have to be willing to negotiate and compromise, because that's a lot.
I
That
had a
is a
young
lot.
lady, she bid $30,000 over. And before we went under contract, the listing agent said, what are you going to do if it doesn't appraise? And I said, well, now we are willing to negotiate.
Right.
That was my answer for my client. We are willing to negotiate. Meanwhile, my client is like, well, I know I could do at least this much over. Okay.
Right.
Okay. But we're going to try to negotiate first.
Exactly.
Okay. So
Exactly.
then it did not appraise, not $1 over list price. And this house
Wow.
had multiple offers. It didn't appraise not $1 over list price. And I filled out that agreement to amend the contract, okay,
Right.
asking for them to take that purchase price down to the list price. And they came back, well, we told you, what if
Right.
it doesn't appraise? I said, and I'll let you know then we were willing to
To
negotiate.
negotiate.
Okay?
Exactly.
And so we went 30,000 over. They came back. We ended up settling $5,000 over, which
Got you.
wasn't a whole lot. The buyer was willing to go higher than that. But here's the thing: she went $5,000 over and settled it, but her value in the next 90 days was already there.
That's right.
She got that back quick.
That's what
And
I'm
so
saying.
that's the kind of things you have to pay attention to as well when
Yeah.
you are offering more. If it doesn't appraise and I'm willing to pay the difference, how quickly am I going to get my value back?
Yeah. Because you just set the standard. You know what you do. Another thing that I do too. So I'm very analytical, super analytical. So numbers have to make sense for me. So I will do the comparables, and I'm kind of a stickler on my comparables, but I understand where the market is. So I will do the comparables, and I'll do a range. I'll do a max range, I'll do a low range, like we all do.
Yep.
And I'm like, we could get this based on what the market is looking like, but we could get an appraiser that walks in that day and says no.
No.
Because I know I got these numbers here, but somebody else could come behind me and be like, no. So what I have started to do is with my comparables, and I encourage the listing agents to get on board as well. Now I have had some that do. But we get together and we put like a package together of all the upgrades or anything that's been done in the house. We come with the numbers, and I go to the appraiser and I'm like, this is what I found. I'm just curious if you find the same thing, right? And I tell them not to try to do their job, but I say, hey, everything is a learning experience for me. So I take every home, I put an offer on, and I use that as a learning experience.
Yep.
So I have this conversation with the appraiser, and I said, just tell me if I'm close to what you're thinking. Because I had a situation where we offered over 23,000 over asking, and the sellers had did a couple of upgrades. I kind of put a little package together. I kind of pulled out where I got my numbers, even though it was 23,000 over. And I kind of showed him a range that was even higher, but I was showing him we were staying safe, right? Quotations.
Right.
And came back and he gave me 1,000 over what the number was we offered. So there we even offered 23,000 over asking price, but it appraised $1,000 more than what we offered. So just that one little step that I started adding in and just going to the appraiser and saying, hey, everything's a learning experience for me. I'm not trying to do your job. I just want to see that when I go on my next one, that I'm close.
Exactly. Like what did I miss?
Yeah.
That's how I come to. I'm like, so look, I just got to figure out, what did I do wrong? How did I miscalculate so bad? You know?
Exactly.
When you come to an appraiser or even another agent saying, hey, listen, I didn't see this, I'm not sure. When you come humbly to them,
exactly,
they will help you.
Exactly.
They will give you. But if you come in a know-it-all mentality,
oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
And you know, even as a seller's agent, I've had listings before where an agent will come to me and be like, well, where did you get that number from? I'm pulling comps. I ain't get that. Okay, you didn't get that, but I got it. So, and number two, I can't dictate what the price will be. That's the seller's job. Only thing I can do is offer to the seller where I think it should be. And then the seller makes the final decision. So that number that you see in the MLS is not because Lenore came up with the number. The seller said, I appreciate those numbers you pulled.
But this is what I want to do.
But I know my house is worth this. And so you have to go along with that. You know, you have to give your best. And I've given my best to a few sellers that decided, you know what? We want this and this is what we're going to do. But in the end, it was closer back to my numbers, you know, so, and I try to give like a wide range for that top number that helped out with that, because I know even if the buyer's agent doesn't do it, I'm going to do it as a seller's agent when that appraiser comes through. Did we list it right? You know, did I miss something? Just like you said, did I miss something? This is a learning experience for me going forward. And not because I don't know how to pull comparables, but always learn something every time I do. So very analytical, and numbers don't lie. They really don't. Numbers don't lie. People lie, but numbers don't lie.
That part. That whole entire part.
Exactly.
So again, we're halfway through the show. Just again, want to welcome everyone to Asking Agents with my special guest, Lenore Pattillo. She's another real estate broker powerhouse in this real estate industry. Only a mere 3 years in, and is breaking records left and right, being on boards and everything, and really just taking this industry by storm, which again, I said in the beginning, I expect nothing less from you, Lenore, because let me tell you something. Years ago, you were doing the same thing in the other industry that we were in. But ladies and gentlemen, you know how this works. If you don't give us any question, we just gonna keep talking about what we want to talk about, and then your questions won't get answered. So you want to make sure you put your questions down in the chat box so that we can get them answered. I have an agent on here that says, I want to be like y'all when I grow up. She's such a sweetheart. She's a new agent as well. But you know what? I'm telling you, Lenore and I both are open books. You all, if you're an agent and you're just getting into this industry, we have no problem taking time to talk with you. We have no problem giving you some advice. We have no problem running through a scenario with you. In fact, when I first got my license, I had my broker in charge and she was awesome. I said, but I also had a good friend of mine who I had gone to undergrad with, and we had went to real estate school together. And when we would come across situations, we would run it by each other all the time. Him and I did that. So, you know, because we always have a broker in charge to go to. We always have somebody. And I'm now a broker in charge, but I have a coach that's been in the industry 30 plus years that I can go to. So we always have someone to go to. But a lot of times you just want to talk peer to peer. Okay, get that hands-on type of, okay, I know you've been here and done that. How can you help me through this? And
Exactly.
then it helps you also get another perspective. I have a very good friend who's a broker in charge in Raleigh. I call her from time to time. It's
Right.
just, that's what we do. It's all I'm saying. We're open book. You want to ask us stuff, you can. You can put it in the chat as well, or you can reach out to us
Right.
individually. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. So, Lenore, I said we were going to talk about something, but I'm drawing a blank about what I said we were going to talk about.
Well, let me ask you a question. How about that?
Okay.
How does it feel now from going from working at a brokerage to now owning your own? You know, what made you take that step?
You know what? I'll tell you, like I told when the broker in charge, when she asked me, did something happen? I said, God told me to. And I believe this pandemic slowed me down enough to hear clearly from God. Because I would tell people all the time, like, I'm not that person that hears clearly from God.
Right.
He got to talk to somebody through me. My pastor got to come and say, "Look, God told me to tell you." Okay. That's how I am. But I was finding myself having these reoccurring dreams, seeing me doing this. And I felt like that was God telling me it was time to move. I was not prepared, Lenore, like when you said you got to have this 6 to 12 months of savings. I
Yeah.
literally have been living check to check the last 6 years, and I was not prepared. Look, I finally hired a financial advisor and said, "Look, I got to figure this out. I can't keep doing this."
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
and he said to me, he said, "Don't feel ashamed or don't feel bad because you don't have it together." He said, "You're now taking the steps to get it together."
Right.
He said, "That's
Right.
what we're going to help you." But back to your question, how does it feel? I mean, it feels great, you know, but it also, it's like, I don't really have that broker in charge to go to. Everything is on me now. So if me or my agents get in trouble, it's on me, you know, and I
Right.
really got to watch my agents and make sure that they're doing right as well. But I love it. I love the mere flexibility of it, because I treated, when I was at my other firm, I treated it like it was a job. Meaning I
Right.
was there 9 to 5, whether I had a client to work or not. I was in that office. I was doing whatever I needed to do to make contacts with agents. You said something earlier about how when we all start out, we start out with our sphere of influence. And your sphere
Right.
of influence is your family and friends. Okay.
Yeah.
It's people that you know. You're letting them know, hey, listen, I'm a new agent. I'd appreciate it if you gave me an opportunity to do business
Right.
with you. You know, they're either gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. And we
Exactly.
learned a long time ago in network marketing, some will, some won't,
Someone, so
some
what?
not.
Next. Exactly. Exactly. And
So
that's the same way you have to approach this, you know? So, congratulations, like for real.
I have a question from one of our new agents. It says, as a new agent, how can I make it in this market? I want to give up sometimes. We do too, honey.
Yeah. So, just complete honesty. Complete honesty. Um, it can be hard. It can be hard. It can be stressful. But I look at it like this. Everything can be. A job can be. You know what I'm saying? And this, I would say to you being new, don't give up. Just work harder. That's it. Work harder, work smarter. I am, if it I've always had problems with procrastination. Nobody would know that unless I told it, right? But I'm a procrastinator. And I'm getting better as I get older, I think. But I can procrastinate. I can know that I need to do this, this, and this, and I'll put it off because I'll let something else distract me. So if I can offer you any advice on how not to quit, is don't get distracted on stuff that's not going to bring you business, because you can. With me, I'm not a big Facebook person. Um, you know, Nicole and them, they make this look so glamorous. I'm like, oh God. I'm not, I can't take no pictures right now because I'm overweight right now. I'm
let me tell you
joking.
the secret. Just, I'm gonna tell all of y'all on here this, and anybody who listens in the future. This is the secret to the pictures. Once you find a good picture, get you a graphics person to change
And
the
have them
color of
change
your
it
outfit.
up.
Okay, that's it.
Look,
That's all
what
I
did I
do.
say? But what did I just say? I'm a procrastinator, right? Um, the thing is once you get into the business, all you got to do is be good with a few people, do a good job with a few people. And from those few people will send you referrals. That's how I grow my business. I don't do a lot of Facebook marketing. Actually, I'm slack on it. I don't do it. I don't promote all the time when I'm selling something. I don't promote how much money I'm making. I just don't do that. I feel God leading me in a different way. You know, I had to do that a lot with network marketing. And then once I wasn't like in the center of network marketing, it kind of became like annoying to me. And I was like, oh, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to do it this way. God's going to lead me a different way on how to grow my business. And so I grow my business not by showing, and that's not for everybody. I understand that. That's not for everybody. But God specifically spoke that to me, that he's gonna prosper me in a different way. And all I have to do is be my best at what I do with the people who give me the opportunity. And then from there, he will promote me, right? Facebook can't promote me, Instagram can't promote me, Twitter can't promote me, whatever else is out there, they can't promote me. Whoever God sends my way, I have to do the best. And then from there, I get referrals. And that has been how my business has grown the entire time. I don't buy leads. I don't make cold calls. I don't do any of that.
I'll tell
Right.
you, sir.
Now, I don't get me wrong. I do agree with Nicole and how they do their business. I think that you do have to show people that you in business, right? And I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm just totally against that. It's not that. I just know everybody has their own way of doing things. And then God just showed me that for me. So a lot of times I won't post a lot. Um, and I've been good, totally good. And okay, now could I possibly be better? Yeah, you know, I'm sure I could be, but God has me where he wants me at this moment. And I'm going to make sure I'll walk in what he has for me, and not what the world tells me I should be doing. So as long as I keep him the head, I even had conversation with Nicole. I had a buyer who was struggling and I fasted for her. And so I do things like that, but I do those things in private. And when I do those things in private, I see my business take a whole nother level. So that's how I am. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if network marketing helped me in that area. Or it showed me how I wanted to do something a little bit different, because I can remember being in network marketing and you literally post, trying to influence people to get on your team or to purchase your product. But really all they got to do is just see you living right, taking care of people, and let other people speak for you. You don't even have to toot your own horn. Other people will do that for you. So that's how I stay true to it.
I'm so glad you said that. And I started today's post out by saying they say that self-praise is no praise at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever I do post, I'm posting about someone else. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me tell you their story. Let me tell you their adversity
exactly.
and what we were able to get done.
And that's what
That
I love about you. That's
It's
what I
it's,
love
it's not
about you.
it's not about me.
It's
Not
not.
about me. I don't post every under contract. I went under
Yeah,
contract 3 times last week. I have not posted that yet.
right, right.
It's that's not what it's about. It's about doing a good job for the person that has entrusted you with their experience. And I tell
Exactly.
everyone, everyone's experience is different. Okay, you can't expect the way Susie's transaction went to be the same way that Rachel's transaction is gonna get.
I've
You
not
can't
had one
expect that.
transaction that was alike.
Not there one, honey. They all
No,
saw a house and they closed, but other than that, and the thing is about it, y'all, it challenges us as agents.
that's right.
It challenges us so that if we did encounter it again, you know what? Last time this happened, let me tell you, girl, this was gonna happen. You
Right.
know,
That's
we can
exactly right.
let you know, but
So
I rarely.
I would say though, it's same thing to a new agent that I would say to a buyer. If you know within yourself that this was a vision, this is a goal, you can't let the market determine that you're going to give up, because this is just your test. That's it. This is your test. And as long as you stay and keep that vision and goal in front of you, and you've given it to God, and he's anointed that, if you believe, you know, I'm a big believer. I always, Pastor McKnight always say, you can't have schizophrenia of faith. Your faith got to be on all the time. Can't be schizophrenic about it. So you have to really just say, you know what? This was laid on my heart. I've put a lot of time, effort in it already. I'm not going to let what this market is dictating to me right now take over my future. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And if I have to do something on the side to get me through it, do it. That's why that's why you have different opportunities. You don't have to be stuck in just one. So do it. Make it happen.
Hey, Sakoni, we see you checking in.
Is that Sakoni in there? What's up,
Yeah.
Sakoni? I haven't seen him in forever.
I know. We have to do a little reunion. One thing I want to add on to something Lenore said, and piggybacking on Lanice's question earlier, it's all about the follow-up. And that's something we actually learned back in network marketing. It is about the follow-up, because that person who gets ready to purchase a home, or that person who gets ready to sell a home, isn't necessarily going to call you because they think you're the best on earth. They're going to call the last person that was on their mind. And you hope and pray that that's
It was
you, because you're the
you.
best on earth. Okay?
That's right.
Because and they don't mean it purposefully.
Right.
They don't. They don't mean to do it. They're not intentional about hurting you. They're
Exactly.
just absent-minded. They got schizophrenia. You know,
Schizophrenic. That's right.
they thinking about themselves, okay?
That's right.
And that's how humans are. You can't
Yeah.
take those kind of things personal. You cannot end friendships because someone does not do business with you.
That's
It's
right.
a constant way to drive your business into the ground.
Yeah.
That's one thing
And
I
we
learned
learned that early on.
early on. Early on.
Right.
That's why they taught us some will,
That's
some
right.
won't. So what's next?
Yeah.
Okay. You just gotta go after it. So buyers, for you all looking for houses, the point is, don't give up.
No.
You know, don't give up at all. It's a tough market right now, but let me tell you, we're here to navigate you through it.
That's right.
We didn't say it's gonna be easy. Okay.
No.
Well,
If it
we
was
did say we'll
easy,
get you
everybody
through
be
the end.
doing it. Yeah. If it was easy, everybody would be homeowners.
Ever.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of
absolutely.
programs out there. I wanted to touch on down payment assistance, Lenore.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of down payment assistance. I know we need it. A lot of us need that money. The reason why I'm not a fan of down payment assistance is because they're giving you money, but it's at a higher interest rate. And when it's
Yeah.
at a higher interest rate, you qualify for less house,
Yeah,
which puts us at that much more of a disadvantage. I feel
that's
it's
true.
better. How do you feel about down payment assistance?
Well, when I first got into real estate, I was all for it. And you start to learn the different programs. Now, some of it is forgivable, some of it isn't. Most people don't even realize it ends up being a second mortgage that you pay for 30 years or 10 years, 15 years is forgiven. So I'm kind of at a crossroads with it. I can see where it can help for someone getting started. I can tell you right now in this market, it's kind of hard to use it anyway, not unless you're trying to do new construction. And even some of the new constructions aren't even going for it. So depending on which builder you go to, that's why it's always good to have
And I
a,
can name some builders for you, but I won't.
yeah. And that's why I said it's always good to have a realtor before you even walk into a new construction site. Um, please, please, they work for the builder. Let me just throw this in here real quick. They work for the builder. You need someone to represent you. But so I'm at a crossroads with down payment assistance. It really do, because I am a workforce housing specialist. That's some of the stuff that we do with North Carolina Housing Finance Agency and the foundation. The reason why I did like the foundation, because we give a grant. So it's free money. And you don't have to pay it back, and it doesn't affect your loan in whatever way. It's not a lot, but that could be the difference of someone having, less money to bring to closing. So that, yeah, I had one client who did House Charlotte, the Heroes program. She was a teacher. Um, and she loved it. It worked for her because even though she might have got a little bit less house, it was still a great house. Her mortgage is cheaper. So she's not paying $1,600 a month, which is what she was paying in rent. And now she's paying more like a $900 mortgage. For
Yeah.
someone like that, that can get like it, it can be forgivable if you decide to stay in the house for 10 years. Then I'm like on the fence for it. For someone who's looking for a lot more house, Nicole's right. You end up getting a little bit less house because you're using the program. So for me, I'm right on the fence with down payment assistance. But I know that if you're trying to get a resale right now, yeah, just see me about North Carolina Housing Foundation grant.
Right.
Nobody has to know about all that.
It's hard out
Somebody
here
see
to
your
tell
facial
you. It's hard.
expression.
She said, it's hard out here. It's
So yeah,
hard.
for me, it's just different for each client. It's not for everybody. I promise you that. It sounds good. It sounds good when they tell you, oh, you get
Oh, free money.
$30,000. Yeah, it's not free. Don't let them tell you that. But yeah.
There's now several lenders have hit me up with there's a new FHA program that's no down payment. Okay.
Yes.
Credit got to be where it needs to be, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're
And I
not
need
gonna
to
do it for 580.
let me say this one part about credit. Okay. When you're getting people to fix your credit, be sure that you're getting a legitimate person. I had a client. We got to the closing table, and she said, that's not my bill that they wanted her to pay that was on her credit report because she had paid to be an authorized user on someone's account. Okay.
Hate that.
You got to be careful. If you're going to do authorized user, do people that you know, legitimate people, not total strangers.
I
Okay.
hate that. I hate that.
That deal almost didn't go through. But
Oh
she
my
was like,
God.
that ain't my money. She was mad.
Oh gosh. Yeah. You do have to be really careful. There's another thing out there right now where you're kind of on somebody else's card, and I think this might be what you're talking about. And soon as they take you off that card, your credit score will plummet like 40 points. I've had that happen. Not good. Not
And
good.
I need y'all to stop once you under contract running out and trying to buy your furniture for the house yet. Look, you ain't closed until we closed, okay? I can't say that enough. Once had a girl, she wasn't for furniture, but like over the weekend had gone out and applied for an express credit card. And they were like, now we need proof that you paid this bill off because you was throwing your debt to income ratio off. So, like, yo, don't buy nothing, okay? Don't spend nothing. Just keep saving your money to the end, okay? The end. We know you want to fill your house up, but good.
Get your house first.
Look, that's what they tell us agents the same thing. Don't spend your money till it's in the bank.
That's right.
It ain't yours till it's in the bank. And there's a million deals that fall through week of closing. You done posted you was under contract and you never saw them post that they closed. The deal fell through. I'm just saying. It happens.
Stop it.
I tell the truth here. That's it.
For real. For real.
Yeah. Yo, I opened my own brokerage. I went under contract on some land that never closed. Not because they did anything, they just changed their mind. But I had already posted under contract on some land.
And don't get new cars. Hold off. No new car loans, please.
If you think you want a house, don't get a new car.
Yeah.
I got a client now. He was like, "Yo, my car giving me trouble." I said, "Just hold on, hold on,
Please.
just hold on." I'm paying for the car every day.
I had a client that did that. Oh my goodness.
It'll throw your debt to income ratio off.
It does. It does. It really does. So you have
You
to.
all of us this time laughing at us, talking about my facial expression. You ain't asked us no questions. So I'm just over here talking off the top of the dome. We needed your questions. Like nobody had a question for us. You don't want to know nothing from these two top producing agents right here. It's okay.
It's all good.
It is all good. We have a good time in there. I mean, you know, we cut up.
We do. Stories. I have stories for days.
Look, she knows 100% of the information. She's having fun in this business.
Helping a lot of people.
Inside joke right here. Well, I'm at least glad to know that you think we're giving good information. That's the purpose of having these lives, to make sure that we're getting the information to you. Like I said, I have no problem bringing other agents on here. I have no problem exposing people to other agents, because guess what? There's enough people out here for every agent. It's over probably 15,000 agents. It's almost 1 million people in the city of Charlotte alone.
Exactly.
It's enough out here for all of us. Look, I believe in collaboration, not competition.
That's right. That's right.
We're just here to give you the info, make sure that you're getting what it is that you need so that you can go out and be the best person you can be in this real estate market.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree 100%.
Miss Lenore, we got about 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Why don't you tell the people how they can get in touch with you?
The easiest way, clear to close.
That's my agent.
What did you say? Clear to close does not clear to purchase.
Right. Clear to close is not clear to purchase the car furniture.
No, it's not.
Clear to close
means you got a few more days to hold on.
We got to get there, okay? Anything can happen.
It also means if that deed's not recorded,
come on,
don't you do a thing. Let's say that right there.
If that deed is not recorded, okay?
Exactly. You do
Last
not
thing
own
you want
it
is
yet.
to try to open the front door and the door handle fall off. You're going to be mad at the seller. Like, I told you. The seller going to be mad at you.
That's exactly right. Let's see.
Yes.
Well, the easiest way to contact me is text me. I'm a texter. That's the easiest way.
But you gotta text the
98022.
right number because I had been texting the wrong number.
Yeah, yeah. And even though I give people the right number, they still go back to that old number. So, and I rarely check that number, but hey, I get to it. But easiest way to get in contact with me is my cell phone, 980-223-5575. 980-223-5575.
Again, this is a wonderful agent in the industry, up and coming, only in a mere 3 years, and is already breaking records. I love this young lady. Like I said, we go way back. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been our time. You can always follow me on my social media platforms at Coast Keys or at Coast Keys LLC on YouTube. This video will get uploaded to YouTube tonight or tomorrow sometime. My website is coleskeys.com. If you're an agent looking to join the team, hit me up. If you're a buyer looking to buy a home, hit us up. If you're a
That's
seller
right.
looking to sell his home, hit us up. Like, we're here for you, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you on Thursday. Well, I will be doing it, the next Ask an Agent Live with Michael Horde, who is a closing attorney. We'll see you then.
Nice.
Bye.
Awesome.